About 20 years ago, I became aware of a story that was pretty much an open secret amongst Hillsong leadership. And I was made aware of this story by the direct individuals involved, as well as people who had seen many disturbing things that they didn't know what to do with. This open secret still involves innocent parties, and for the reason of those families and the children involved, it's impossible to give any specifics for this story, so I put it in a chapter. And it's this really strange chapter that is different from the rest of the book that I'd written, and so I put it in there and I waited and waited. And 15 years later, no one's ever asked me about this chapter. So I decided, given this week's events, to do a reading. Now, in order to protect those innocent people, this will make no sense to some of you. It'll make perfect sense to a few people, but I think it needs to be shared now. Most particularly because we were raised with the story of King David, and most of all, his relationship with Bathsheba. And, well, the women were always taught that Bathsheba was a lucky, lucky girl, a chosen one by the king. And there's a lot of debate about that. This is only a short chapter. It's a page and a half, and it's called David's Princess. It doesn't say why King David did not lead his army into war. The Bible tells us only that in the spring, when kings go off to battle, David instead sent Joab out with his men. But David remained in Jerusalem. Getting up from his bed one night, King David took a walk around the roof of his palace. From there he saw Bathsheba bathing. It says she was very beautiful. King David made inquiries about her. He was informed that she was the wife of his soldier Uriah, who was away at war for Israel. David sent messengers to get her. She came to him, and he slept with her. Bathsheba the beautiful, who brought the king undone. Bathsheba the adulteress. Bathsheba the one the king could not resist. Bathsheba who was not given the choice to resist the king. When Bathsheba became pregnant, King David did not know what to do. He sent for Uriah and encouraged him to spend the night with his wife. Loyal Uriah refused to leave the king unguarded and slept at the door of the palace instead. So King David sent orders for Uriah to be put in the front line where the fighting was fiercest, and then for the troops to withdraw from him so he would be killed. And there on the battlefield, at the orders of his general, Uriah died. When Uriah's wife heard that her husband was dead, she mourned for him. After the time of mourning was over, David had her brought to his house, and she became his wife and bore him a son. But the thing David had done displeased the Lord. The Lord's displeasure saw Bathsheba's baby die to punish King David, and so Bathsheba was punished again. Their next child was King Solomon the Wise. David famously begged for the Lord's forgiveness, and the Lord ended up using him for great things, including being King Solomon's teacher. But what about Bathsheba? It doesn't say whether Uriah and Bathsheba had children of their own. It doesn't say if Bathsheba grieved that he was dead, just that she was given her allotted mourning time. Then she became property of the king. How many Bathshebas are there? Maybe Uriah and Bathsheba had children, and maybe they mourned their father, even if he was a Hittite. What happened when those children grew up? Did they see their countrymen bowing to the king and taking his word as gospel? Did their blood boil when they saw their mother trapped by the king's whims? Did Bathsheba grow to enjoy being a queen after some time had passed? One day, when David has been too glorified, Uriah's children might tell the story of a king who should have been at war with his men, but instead remained in Jerusalem. Yet, with their father long dead, who will listen to Uriah's children in David's kingdom?